Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again. And we played a couple matches this past Saturday at our local spot, the Booster Box here in Virginia Beach. We ended up not getting into any of the regionals or treasure cups, so we just were like, I was like, hey man, I need to go get some games in. I got the itch right now. But round one, we get paired up against the woman, the myth, the legend, Frankie right here. She's playing Katakuri. I do end up winning the dice roll. And I've been loving Magellan. It's super strong after this starter deck 10. But it does have moments where I'm like, oof, I wish that this just went slightly differently. There are matchups where seeing the 5-cost Magellan just feels like you gotta have it, or it's going to be a really tough matchup. And, you know, there's other matches where if you see it, it's great, but it's not like it's a necessity. And I think yellow is one of those matches, though, where you definitely do want to be seeing it. And I think we start off with one in hand, if I'm not mistaken. Or, yeah, looks like we do. So not too bad. But we also have the 9-drop Kaido, so a little early to have that. We've got a very top-end heavy hand right now. But Pudding does search out the Perospero for turn 1. And my turn 1, I'm just going to go ahead and pass. And we'll see a 5k at life. I will choose to take this. Unfortunately, getting Hell's Judgment a little earlier than I would have liked to out of life. But, you know, can't win them all. And looking at the hand, I think we're just going to go 5 to life right here. She does choose to take, but finds a Sanji off the first life. So really solid start for her. And I know that trashing the Perospero does have to sting a little bit, but it's, I mean, she's still looking great after seeing the Sanji. Moves the top of the life down to the bottom. I will go ahead and take this 8k swing though, and then a 5k I will counter out, and she does swing with Sanji as well. And I'll counter out with Queen, because I think we had 3 in hand, but then a Brulee is coming down, which is just like, ugh, gosh, why? I was really hoping to go for some form of a board clear here and get some momentum, but she does have 4 cards in hand, which leaves us with a little bit of room for, you know, potentially getting some stuff done. But we'll see a 5k swing into Sanji does get it to go. I'll do the Dawn -1 effect, which gets both of us -1. And now I can just attach 1 to lead, and I'll go 7 into the Perospero. Could counter out, but chooses to block. I think the block there is very nice, because now swinging 5 is, you know, very easy to do. And this was actually one of the first games that I've done Perospero, or excuse me, not Perospero. One of the first games that I've done Magellan over the board. And so I was doing, I kept forgetting to remove the dice, which ended up only being relevant in one match that I was playing against my friend Chance and Zoro. But when he was playing Zoro, but not too big of a deal. It was just like certain turns I was like, oh shoot, I need to do better about that, because I'm so used to keeping the dice if I have like 7-cost Eustace Captain Kit on board. But Perospero does take a little 6k swing and counters out with a Monday there for 2k. We have 2 of the 9-cost Kaidos in hand. Hand is a little bricked up. I am going to go 5 into the Perospero here, hoping to get the card out of the way, but it just doesn't seem to go. And now I am going to play Queen. I'll use the Dawn -1 effect to draw 2. I'm very happy that I draw into 2 counters here. I trashed one of the Kaidos just because I don't feel as though I'm going to need it. And I'll go 7 into the Pero. She does let it die. Taking a look at the top 3. Sees actually some fantastic choices. Chooses to take Randolph here. Had an 8 cost as well as, what was it? The Pudding Searcher there. So not too bad at all. Unfortunately, bottom decking a King here. King is super nice, and just being able to get rid of some of those pesky 4-cost cards that come out of life. But yet again, can't win them all, you know. And now with the Law Blocker removed, I could have blocked with Queen here. I think that it was a bit of a misplay on my part, countering out for 1k. She does choose to go 7 here. I'm just deciding whether I want to block with the queen for an easy 2k, and we will. And Charlotte Lin is going to come down. I'll tell her to just gain a life here. I'm not in the business of going down to 1 life just yet. Not with the hand that we do have. Although we do have quite a lot of blockers, so there is room for some possibilities here. But I do want to get 7 cost Captain Kidd down, so I'll save my 2 blockers and just call it a day. I'll go 7 into the Sanji though. She does let that go, which I'm very happy about. I'm like, okay, thank God. I've finally gotten some form of like a board control going. But she counters the 5k swing from Law, and I'm like, oh man. I really thought I would get that one through with her being at 3 life, but easier said than done. Yeah, I'm just going to choose to go 6 here, and she does get a Beji out of life, and chooses to freeze up the leader. And now my leader can't get that extra swing through, which is slightly unfortunate. And I still choose to go the useless Captain Kidd route, which is, I don't know, I don't hate it. But at the same time, I think that maybe going double blocker here wouldn't have been too bad. We do see a 5k swing into the Law. I will counter out of that one. And then a 6k swing into the Queen. I just wanted one of the blockers to live. I knew that since her only other swing was the 8k, I should be fine. But now with us being at 9, we got to do some work, because that 10 cost mom is scary. I have to get rid of Lin, but she only has 2 cards in hand, which does make this doable. But seeing a lot of that early triggers was definitely hurting me. And it looks like a Randolph out of life right there. Not gonna do too much. Oh, camera got hit a little bit. Sorry about that. 5k swing at life does counter out with that Randolph though. And an 8k swing. I'm thinking of whether I want to go 8k into the Lin or 8k into life. And I choose to go life here. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. 8k at life does get taken with the Katakuri. And now I will go 7 to life. I believe this is a Thunderbolt now. Yep, and Thunderbolt on the Law is just so detrimental. I'm like, oh God, what do we do? Like, this is not what I was hoping for, but I will just play Mino Koala and pass with 2 open. I don't do I have Hell's Judgment? I think I do, actually, from the very beginning of the game. So yeah, it was still super unfortunate to see. 2k swing though from going into the Hanya Ball. I could have defended it to have an extra swing the following turn, but decided not to. Yeah, 10 cost does kind of go hard here. If she 10 costs me again, I'm looking real bad. I don't think there's a way that we can get the win other than potentially like having that 9 cost Kaido and just getting through all of the life. But that's really tough, and I think that Thunderbolt set me back quite a bit. Just losing one of those potential swings, but also potential blocks right here. 12k swing, I will use a Hell's Judgment on these 2 and a 2k counter, because I believe she swung into the Eustace Captain Kidd. Still 10 Dawn left, so doesn't necessarily need to swing, because there's nothing to be swung at if you want to play 10 cost Mom, but is deciding to potentially go 5 for Randolph. Okay, and then probably just 1 on Lin, maybe going a 6k, maybe a 7k here, but I think we only have 2 cards in hand, so it's not looking great. 6k into Magellan. I really need this card to be alive for the following turn, which is a bit of a problem for me right now. I am just gonna have to counter with Mino Zebra, and then we'll see a 10k, and I will just have to unfortunately block with that. Now I do get up to 10 Dawn here finally, using that ramp off of Mino Koala, but it's just not, I just don't think it's enough. 10k to get through 3 life. The tough part is, you know, if she has a blocker, if she has Beji in hand, or not Beji in hand, Beji in life. Oh my gosh. People keep bumping into the table. The camera is just taking a beating during this match. I'm trying to go through my head and like think what is the best option here. I'll go 7 with Magellan, hoping that she will take this life, and sadly 2k 1k with Beji, and putting here her last card in hand doesn't have counter, but I'm like, all right, I need 3 attacks to get through. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Kaido. I was considering whether I wanted to use the leader first or use this Captain Kid here. And realistically, it boiled down to, okay, if I swing 8 and I do the Dawn -1, I can go up to 7 and then just hope a 7k gets through. Well, she saw Beji for her last life. And she chose not to use it because she knew she had Sanji that she set up before. And I'll swing 10, but the block is easy here. And sadly, I am going to take that L. The triggers hurt the feelings. They really did. And I was like, oh, God. I always love the games against Frankie. But I will tell you what, the games against Katakuri are rough sometimes. It's like, how do you play around it? But I think there were turns that I could have made better decisions on choosing to either protect cards or to take life. I think I took life early on in the match, maybe a little aggressively. I don't hate how I took it, but there were situations where I could have played cards just a little bit differently to go a little wider on the board, just in case of something like Thunderbolt. But solid match all around, and I was just contemplating after the match. I was like, is there a way that I could have went for game there? I don't think there was. Oh boy, yeah, camera on this round was just getting obliterated. But we go into a second game. Yet again, Katakuri here. I had all 3 games that I played were all Katakuri, and I played a couple of Zoro matches afterwards with my buddy Chance, but we don't mind the Katakuri matchup. It's just sometimes if the triggers are hot like that first round, it is tough. It is super tough to go into. Yeah. And yeah, does take a 10 cost mom here though. And Taylor's got putting on turn 1 and more than likely Sparrow or like Cracker or Sanji or something to go down on turn 2. So I am trying to find the necessary cards that we'll need. It looks as though I had either a choice between Little Sadie or Mino Zebra here, or Mino Rhinoceros, excuse me, and I choose to take Little Sadie. I am going to play Hannibal one more time, though, picking up that Magellan. And my thought process was like, okay, I was considering taking Mino Zebra, but if I end up hitting Magellan, then I'm just going to be like, man, I don't have a counter power. I have 2 counterless cards in hand, and my goal is to get down like maybe this Mino Koala for turn 2 and then go from there. We'll see a 5k swing. Does choose to take, but I actually put down the Mino Zebra instead. I love this card against yellow because they really are afraid of that banish on life. And it's such a tempting swing for them to go pretty heavy on in the following turn. So we'll see a 7k. Taking a look at the top life, does choose to keep it there. I will take this going down to 3, but I don't hate it. Yet again, I like to play a little aggressively on the life when it comes to yellow, so that, you know, potentially their 7 cost and 10 cost mom aren't getting like the most value out of it. But I will just go 5 to life here with Mino Zebra. Does choose to counter out, and I'll go 6 for King, KOing the Cracker, and a 6 at life, which gets a 2k counter as well. I love the curve here. We'll probably see a 7k going into Mino Zebra. Excuse me, Mino Zebra, which I'm totally fine with. Card did its job, got a card out of hand, and I get to ramp a Dawn that I just went, you know, -4 with King. I am very happy with that turn of events. And this also gets me up to, I believe, maybe 7 Dawn, 7 or 8 Dawn. So if I do have use as Captain Kidd, it could be played. I am more than likely going to be playing Magellan, though, if I had to take a guess. Does choose to take the card. I believe it was a Thunderbolt, so no fantastic choices here for Thunderbolt. But I will just go 5 into life, getting a Randolph out of hand, and then 5 for Magellan, swinging 6k into life. And this gets him off of, I think, the 10 cost curve. I think, or no, this gets him off of, no, it is. Yeah. Okay. So puts him, oh, that's right, I remember. Puts him at 8, and then I wanted to go Magellan again, like the turn afterwards, to make sure that you really wasn't going to get 10 cost down in time for like a lot of that, you know, a lot of that value on curve. But we'll see a 5k swing. We saw an 8k swing, and now we'll see Katakuri bringing Magellan to the top. So I know for a fact that there is a good old-fashioned Big Mom in hand with that card being on the top of life. So that means that 5 cost is definitely going to come down. I swing 2k into the pudding. Oh, which, by the way, I think I forgot to swing into the pudding after turn 1. I think it was like after turn 1. I forgot to do that. Yeah. Does Trashy Kaku's Sovereignty to play Cracker here, though, from life. And we do get a Dawn -1, though, thankfully, through that Magellan. And now I'll just go heavy into life again, getting him down to 1 here while we're at 4. 10 Mom can't come down, so this has to be like, you got to heal up somehow. You got to heal, you got to block, you got to, you know, you got to have some answers to the aggression that we've been putting down. Can go for a board clear here, but more than likely Magellan is going to live. So, you know, Thunderbolt feels kind of bad. If you have to Thunderbolt to KO the Magellan, you're going down to no life, so you'll have to block her up. But we see a 10k swing going into King here. I'm just going to have to let King go. 5 into the Hanya Ball, letting that go as well. And now we'll see a double attack coming through with Cracker and an 8k swing as well into life. I'm not sweating it too heavy, but I will just counter out of this one because we do have 3 blockers in hand. It looks like a resting 4 for another Cracker and just passing it over. We've got 4 cards in our opponent's hand, 10 Dawn. I'm just going to swing 9, see what happens. If there's a great trigger or not, then, you know, then potentially we get out of this. But 2 2Ks, a Sanji, was a Beji, and a Randolph to get out of this. So they do have 1 more turn. With us being at 2 life, I am just going to rest 1, or excuse me, rest 5 for Queen, returning 1, drawing into yet again another Queen, which was pretty crazy. And oh, I am going to attach the Dawn here. I'm going to go 8k, I would imagine. Oh, I think I choose not to. I was like, yeah, I think I might want to save this for a Hell's Judgment if we draw into it. Because he does have a lot of swings on board. And I'll go 6 to life. I kind of hate that. I think I should have went to Cracker here. Just to potentially get one of the swings off the board. I think that made the match a little closer than it needed to be. Yeah, but opponent's got 2 Crackers, 1 Katakuri, and a Sparrow here. So 2 8Ks, a 5K, a lot of options to go for game. We only have the 1 blocker, but thankfully this means that Thunderbolt is offline, so Thunderbolt won't be able to do much to us, or excuse me, not much, anything to us this turn. And now we are 6k, or no, we're not a 6k leader, excuse me. So I just need to remove that die, but I keep forgetting about it. But 8k swing coming down here. I do choose to keep. We end up getting the Hell's Judgment. I figured I would since I hadn't seen one yet. He is lower life than me, so I think that this was like a slight misplay, not using Cracker first. But 9k swing, I will just go ahead and take. We'll see a 10k swing as well with 3 Dawn left, Cracker, and Sparrow. I'll bring this 10k down to 7 and bring the other Sparrow down to 8. Oh, and I think I over countered there, right? Or no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yeah. No, yeah, because it was 7, and I got to do a 2K and a 1K. Yeah, but we'll see a 7 coming in with Cracker here, and I will just 2K, 1K out of that, and then a 2K out of the Parosparrow that would have swung for 6. So, yeah, I think we ended up talking about it after the end. I think going Cracker double attack was probably the play to start it off. But, yeah, all in all, not bad. Definitely 2 different matches as to like how it feels versus, you know, your opponent seeing like very good triggers and then your opponent not seeing so many great triggers. It felt like kind of night and day between these 2 matches on how the deck kind of performs. I do think the 2 Magellans at certain times in the match just really set us up for success and stopping like their plans on some of the curve. But all in all, really fun matches, and I definitely plan on playing a lot of Magellan in the future. So just play some of that and maybe some Red Purple Law in the near future. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to pick up one of those playmats, go to TheLuffyTCG.com. Get your hands on one. I appreciate it. I appreciate it as always, guys. And I hope you have a great day. Peace.